Alpengeist at Busch Gardens Williamsburg and Montu at Busch Gardens Tampa are two of the best Bolliger and Maillard inverts out there. They both opened in the 1990s, with Montu opening in 1996 and Alpengeist opening 1 year later in 1997. Alpengeist and Montu have long layouts, multiple inversions, and some of the most intense elements on any roller coaster. They are also one of the best rides at their respective parks. Which Busch Gardens invert is better though? Find out in this coaster fight between Alpengeist and Montu. If you are familiar with Bolliger and Maillard and its invert model, you have probably heard of one of these two amazing rides. In 1995, Busch Gardens Tampa began planning for Montu. The then record-breaking Bolliger and Maillard roller coaster would be the centerpiece for the park's new Egypt section. Montu would be the first inverted roller coaster to have 7 inversions, including the first Immelman loop on an inverted roller coaster. Montu would also be the first Bolliger and Maillard roller coaster to have a batwing element. Only one other Bolliger and Maillard coaster would have this element: Afterburn at Carowinds, which opened in 1999. When it debuted, Montu was the tallest and fastest inverted roller coaster in the world. It would lose those records in 1997 when Busch Gardens Williamsburg debuted Alpengeist, which also opened with the world's tallest vertical loop on an inverted roller coaster. While Montu is longer and has one more inversion, Alpengeist is the taller and faster of the two. Alpengeist also has the safer first drop of the two. Stats aren't everything though, as these two Bolliger and Maillard inverts have amazing ride experiences. Central to Alpengeist and Montu's ride experiences are their forces and whippiness. Both coasters pull incredible positive G-forces as they travel through their layouts. After you disengage the lift hill and plummet down its massive spiraling first drop, Alpengeist pins you to your seat as you go through 4 incredibly forceful inversions. While these 4 consecutive inversions are quite powerful, Alpengeist lets its foot off the gas after the mid-course brake run, which slams you to a near stop. The remaining elements, including the corkscrew, lack the same power as the first 4 inversions. While Alpengeist offers some great hang time on the 0G roll after the mid-course, the forces are underwhelming. Montu does not have this problem, as every element from the first vertical loop to that corkscrew right before the final brake run hits. The vertical loops are quite forceful, the turns have great power to them, and the bottom of the batwing pulls the strongest G-forces on the ride. Like Alpengeist, Montu has a mid-course brake run. Montu's mid-course brakes, however, hardly engage, so when you come off the mid-course, you still experience some strong forces during the second half of the ride. Montu also has a couple of nice moments of weak floater airtime, particularly going up into the mid-course brakes and the rise over the train tracks coming out of the turn after the second loop. While Alpengeist and Montu both pull some great positive G-forces, Montu sets itself apart from Alpengeist when it comes to whippiness. Montu has several whippy elements, most notably that 0G roll after the Immelman and the entry into the first half of the batwing. Montu also has some good whip on that corkscrew right before the turn into the final brake run. Alpengeist's whippiest element is the first half of the Cobra roll, especially if you are sitting in the very back row. You enter that element with so much speed that you generally have to brace for that whip downwards. The second half is also whippy, though the whip is not nearly as strong. Depending on how hard the mid-course brakes hit, Alpengeist's 0G roll has some decent whip. More often than not though, Alpengeist's 0G roll offers more hang time than whip. Since it is essentially non-stop from start to finish and has some of the whippiest inversions on any roller coaster, Montu has the better overall forces of the two. While Montu has the better overall forces, Alpengeist has one of the most memorable elements out there. The first half of its Cobra roll is something else. Whether it is the speed you have entering this element or its profiling, Alpengeist's Cobra roll is insanely intense. This is especially true if you are sitting in the very back row. While its whippy 0G roll is quite good, Montu's most memorable moment has to be its batwing. That element is quite intense and pulls some incredibly strong positive G-forces. Even with a trim brake right before the entry into the first half of the element, Montu's batwing still manages to whip down into that trench. And like Alpengeist's Cobra roll, the second half of Montu's batwing is not nearly as powerful as its first half. Nonetheless, the element still hits. While Montu's batwing is packed with some strong positive G-forces and good whip on its entry and exit, the first half of Alpengeist's Cobra roll is the more memorable moment, especially on a hot summer day. The hallmark of any Bolger and Mabillard roller coaster is its smoothness, and Alpengeist and Montu are two of the smoothest roller coasters out there. They glide through their layouts as they travel from one element to the next. Busch Gardens Williamsburg and Busch Gardens Tampa have done amazing jobs maintaining these coasters. It really is quite hard to choose which one is the smoother of the two. Regardless of which one is smoother, Alpengeist and Montu are incredibly re-rideable. Bolger and Mabillard roller coasters are capacity machines, and with 3 train operations on both coasters, it is easy to get multiple re-rides on Alpengeist and Montu. That said, 2 factors help distinguish which coaster is more re-rideable. First, Montu's operations are top-notch. The crews are constantly rolling trains, which keeps wait times lower than other rides at Busch Gardens Tampa. Alpengeist operations, while good, are not nearly as quick, which can lead to wait times exceeding an hour on days when Busch Gardens Williamsburg is packed. Second, Alpengeist is an intense ride. Its first half is packed with so many positive G-forces that several consecutive rides will start to catch up to you. While Montu has its equally intense moments, its ride experience and operations make it the more re-rideable of the two. Montu also has the better overall pacing of the 2 coasters. Montu is non-stop from start to finish, and the mid-course brake run hardly hits, which helps with the overall pacing. The train builds back up its momentum as soon as it dies off the mid-course brake run, allowing it to power through the rest of the layout. Alpengeist's largest weakness is its pacing. While its first half is incredible, with those 4 powerful inversions, Alpengeist's second half does not have the same power because of that mid-course brake run. The mid-course brake run slows the train down to a crawl, which makes the last 2 inversions more floaty than whippy, though the hang time on the 0G roll can be quite good. And after the corkscrew, Alpengeist kind of meanders until the final brake run. In contrast, Montu flies into its final brake run after coming out of its corkscrew. While the first half is top-notch, Alpengeist's mid-course brake run definitely hurts its overall pacing. Montu does not have this problem, as it maintains its power until the final brakes. When it comes to sighting though, Alpengeist's placement in Busch Gardens Williamsburg is phenomenal. Alpengeist is located in the Germany section of the park, right in the middle of the park. This placement offers some of the best sightlines out there. Alpengeist Cobra Roll travels up against the Rhine River, which offers some great views from the lower pathway near Loch Ness Monster's interlocking loops. The lift hill towers over the Germany section, and there is even a viewing platform that offers amazing views of Alpengeist's massive spiral first drop, Immelmann, and vertical loop. While Montu is the centerpiece of the Egypt section of Busch Gardens Tampa and has that great Egyptian ruins theming, Alpengeist has the better overall sightlines and location. Thus, Alpengeist takes the setting category. While Alpengeist runs away with the setting category, theming is a different story. The parks did great jobs with Alpengeist and Montu's theming. Located in the Germany section of the park, Alpengeist has a Bavarian Alps and runaway ski lift theme, and the park nailed this theming. Bolger and Mabillard actually designed Alpengeist's lift hill to look like a ski lift, and the ride's entrance plaza has some great skiing theming. That theming continues throughout the queue and into the station, which looks like a Swiss chalet. There are even a couple of nice theming elements during the ride. Located in the Egypt section of Busch Gardens Tampa, Montu has an Egyptian theme, and that theming begins with the approach to the ride's entrance plaza. There's a massive Egyptian ruins archway complete with hieroglyphics, and there are large columns next to the archway. And like Alpengeist's theming, Montu's Egyptian theming continues throughout the queue and into the station. It genuinely looks like an ancient Egyptian tomb on the ride platform. Montu continues its theming during the ride, though Montu's theming during the ride is much better. The ride travels through multiple themed trenches, which makes for an amazing ride experience. While Alpengeist and Montu have great theming, Montu's is slightly better in large part because of those themed trenches. Alpengeist and Montu are incredible inverts. The Busch Gardens parks would truly not be the same without these coasters. While each coaster offers a thrilling ride experience packed with positive G-forces and inversions, there can only be one winner. And that winner is Montu. Montu showcased everything great about the Bolger and Mabillard invert. Strong positive G-forces, whippy inversions, and incredible pacing. It also has some of the best theming on any roller coaster, not at a Universal or Disney park. Montu is truly a top-tier roller coaster and arguably the best invert in North America. So let us know in the comments below which of these two great inverts is better. For our full-length reviews of both Alpengeist and Montu, check out the links in the description. And if you enjoyed this video or are new to the channel, please like and subscribe for more coaster content like this. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more coaster comparisons and amusement park content coming soon to Coaster Adventures, and we hope to see you in the next one.